excited to be here today. I did just switch out my hospital wristband for this VIP one. Nonetheless, they told me that you'd be a lot nicer to me today when they said that I was sick today. So I'm really excited to be here and hope you are too. Huge shout out to Shauna in the audience today for putting together an incredible lineup of speakers and working tirelessly all year for another great Haste and Hustle event. Like I mentioned earlier, my name's Fatima Zaidi, and I'm the Vice President of Business Development at Communications Agency 88. That is my sexiest shot. I hope you like it. I look a lot less sick up there than I do down here, so thank you, whoever that was. That's awesome. Outside of my full-time day job, I'm a commentator for Global News and BNN, mainly around topics to do with sales and tech trends, and I content write for publications like the Huffington Post and the Globe and Mail. However, the absolute highlight of my sales career and the thing that'll probably go on my tombstone is that in 2016, Marketing Magazine listed me as their top 30 under 30 sales developers. Not sure how, but I'll never let anyone forget it. Outside of sales, which is my one true passion in life, I would say that I really only care about three things. The first is I'm a very passionate diving instructor. The second, I'm a huge taco enthusiast. I once had somebody send me their resume with an order of tacos, and on principle, I had to give them the job. And we are hiring right now, so come find me in the break if you're looking for a marketing role. That's a shameless plug, and I don't even care. And last but not least, I'm obsessed with Queen Bee, as everyone should be. I like her so much that my former team actually got me a mug with Beyonce engraved in the middle, as you can see in the photo right there. However, I do have a story to tell you from a couple weeks ago, which sounds made up, but I couldn't even wake it up if I tried. So I walk in a few weeks ago for a creative industries panel that I was sitting on, and a fine gentleman next to me sits down and says, "Hi. Nice mug." And I'm like, "Thanks." And he's like, "You know, that's my daughter's name." I'm like, "Oh, that's cute. You named your daughter after Beyonce?" He's like, "No, Beyonce is my daughter." Shut the front door. I was on a panel with Matthew Knowles, the brains behind Destiny's Child, and I was that much closer to my living idol. And that is the new highlight of my sales career. So to tell you a little bit about our agency, we specialize in 3 buckets of services: digital marketing, PR, and design. And our unique selling proposition is that we are one of the only agencies in Canada that specialize in tech startup marketing and marketing to small businesses. You might have also heard of us as the agency that launched the very controversial online game called Agency or Porn. You basically have to decipher whether the name we give you is the name of an agency or an adult film. It's a very addictive game. I highly recommend playing it. However, it does have sound effects, so if you plan on playing while I'm giving this presentation today or at the office, I do recommend putting it on mute. So how many people in the audience are currently in a sales role, have some sort of a sales function tied to their role, or have been in a sales role in the past? Wow, that's quite a few of us. And not to worry if you're not, a lot of this content is transferable to other industries, and we're always selling ourselves on a daily basis anyway. Now put your hand up if you agree with this statement. Everybody likes to hate on the salesperson. Whether it's those persistent telemarketers that won't stop calling you when you purchase a GoDaddy domain, or those, yes, you know what I'm talking about. Or those persistent sales reps that won't leave you alone as soon as you walk into a retail store. We've all had our fair share of experiences with over-the-top and aggressive salespeople. Potentially being one of those aggressive and over-the-top salespeople myself once upon a time ago, I decided to do a little bit of digging to see what really ticks people off in our industry. I decided to interview some of Toronto's entrepreneurs to ask them what their biggest sales pet peeves were when it came to our people. Put a few of my favorite quotes up on the screen. The first is by Jeff Goldenberg, who is the founder of Abacus Agency. Peter from Abacus spoke earlier today. I'm sure you heard him. He was great. I think he's somewhere in the audience. There he is. Hi, Peter. Jeff's biggest sales pet peeve is when sales reps don't add value with their follow-ups and they don't pace their follow-ups, which I 100% agree is a huge rookie sales mistake. But the one that really resonated with me is by Alan Smithson and Dan Flatt, who are the founders of Metaverse, the VR agency in Toronto. Their biggest sales pet peeve is when sales reps don't get to the damn point and don't reach out with purpose, which is the key theme of my presentation today. A few months ago, the VP of sales of a major tech company called me and left me the following voicemail. Hi Fatima, this is Jason. I wanted to reach out and touch base with you to see if there's anything I could do to assist your agency. It's been a few months since we talked, and I just want to touch base with you. Please give me a call when you have some time to discuss. Delete, archive, junk. This email went right over my head. He provided no context. I had no idea what he wanted from me. After about 30 minutes, I received an email from the same gentleman, and I'm thinking, great, he's about to provide me some context. As you can see, the voicemail and email are nearly identical, which would have been ineffectual and annoying no matter what. But what's worse is he provided zero interesting statements and absolutely no value or hook. I share this story to illustrate that poor follow-up skills are not just a problem that affect rookie sales professionals. This is the VP of sales.
Stand in front of the monitor.
There you go, is that better? This is the VP of sales of a major tech company. This is the VP of sales of a major tech company, and this is the best follow-up he could offer. Who would possibly call this guy back? Years ago, after hearing the phrase thousands of times, I made a personal rule for myself that I would never respond back to somebody who just wants to touch base with me. These words combined form the most useless statement that can be regurgitated from a sales professional's mouth. And why? What does it translate to me? After listening to his voicemail a few times and rereading his email, it occurred to me that at some point in his sales career, some misguided supervisor or trainer or mentor told him that he should be frequently calling his prospects to keep his network warm, but forgot to mention that he should be doing this by adding value. I do agree that staying in front of your sales prospects is vitally important to your long-term success in sales. However, your time and your energy is a precious resource, as is theirs. So then when you do take the time to invest in follow-up phone calls and emails, give yourself a very specific reason as to why your prospect will want to respond back to you and move the relationship forward. Call often, but call with value. 90% of people in our industry, 90% of sales professionals call because they were told they were supposed to. However, the top 10%, the true superstars and the hustlers of our industry, always call with purpose. So what should you be doing if not the spam cold calling approach? Today I'm going to cover 5 tactics that have proven to be much more effective in my sales career than cold outreach. The first is to get creative. When 88 found out that our dream client, Warby Parker, was launching in Canada from the States, we knew we had to do something out of the box extraordinary to get on their radar. So we decided to launch this poster with iconic Canadian celebrities wearing Warby Parker glasses. As you can see, we have Justin Bieber in the middle, we have Jose Bautista, Chris Hadfield, and even the legendary Drake, who put the 6 on the map. The tagline reads, "Warby Parker looks good on Canada." This poster generated a lot of online buzz, and we were featured in Marketing Magazine and just about every other advertising trade. Not only did we have Warby Parker reaching out to us, which was the initial goal, it generated a lot of inbound leads, and to this day, this poster gets referenced by clients who are looking for this level of creativity. It was a great way for us to brand ourselves, show off our design skills, but also brand ourselves as an agency that really pushed the envelope with our creativity. If I had reached out to Warby Parker, one of the top brands of the world, with a generic or even a customized email, would they have responded back? Probably not. They get thousands of these outreach emails a day. The lesson that I learned from this poster campaign was solid, tailored ideas beat aimless communication every time. And I'm not saying we need Warby Parker level of creativity every time, because it is time consuming, and the next tactic is to be efficient with your time. Creativity can be the death knell of efficiency, but if you can be creative and clever, you don't have to sacrifice one for the other. The key to clever efficiency is to work smarter, not harder, when it comes to your sales tactics. If you're in the service industry like 88, nothing can be more frustrating than spending countless hours working on a proposal or a pitch deck, only to have all of that hard work go to waste when somebody turns down your business. The key is to create customized proposals for specific industries, repurpose the material, the insights, the research, and the ideas. And if someone turns down your business, you can customize it further and reuse and repurpose that material. When 88 decided that we wanted a nail salon under our belt, we decided to create a very customized, tailored presentation for nail salons, pitched it out to Her Majesty's Pleasure. When they said no, we repurposed those insights, pitched it out to the 10th spot, and boom, they're our clients today. And like I said, working smarter, not harder when it comes to your sales tactics. And another great way of doing this is by establishing partnerships. Partnerships are a bit like back scratching. If all agencies and companies looked out for each other, we'd be a lot better off. We've cultivated very strategic partnerships with agencies that offer complementary services to ours. And in turn, we send them business back and forth. Maintaining those partnerships requires careful and purposeful effort in both parties involved. However, because we're constantly finding ways to send our partners intel, information that might be relevant to them, we've created a very strong network of people who are in the same position as us, who look out for us. What's up, Peter? Abacus Agency is another partner of ours, and I've been doing so many plugins in my presentation for you guys today. I should be getting half your profits. Partnerships are also a great way of organically expanding your target network by co-hosting events together. A couple months ago, we co-hosted an event with Abacus Agency, and it was a great way for us to get in front of 100 prospective clients who could require our services, get some valuable face time with them, and strengthen our partner relationships. We walked away from that event with our biggest client to date. It's not just about working with other agencies as well. We'll work with anyone who has a similar target audience to ours. We're currently partnered with Women of Influence, the Design Exchange, American Marketing Association. We do pro bono PR for them, and in exchange, we have access to their network. And through our strong partnerships, we get about 1 to 2 solid leads a day. Well, partnerships are great for your business-to-business network, but what about your personal network? How many people here in the room actually enjoy networking? You guys like networking? Wow, that's pretty surprising. Networking seems like a no-brainer, but it's an essential part of generating buzz about your company. Creating a strong network also makes it a lot easier to reach out to people, because then you're not just looking to touch base, but you're building on an existing relationship. When Marketing Magazine released their 30 Under 30 list, I kept having people ask me, how did you manage to close 200 partnerships in the span of 2 years? And I said, through one handshake at a time by attending networking events. I find that offline tactics have the power of forming stronger relationships. However, it just isn't feasible to go to 7 events a week anymore. It's too time consuming. So try to balance your offline and your online tactics. There's some really great online events out there like Facebook Live events, webinars, and often you can attend a great networking event without ever having to leave your house. Another great way of getting in front of a lot of people at once is to speak at events, whether you're moderating, keynoting, paneling, kind of like I'm doing right now. When you speak at an event, everybody leaves knowing your name and your company name, allowing you to a lot of inbound leads to generate organically, but preventing you from having to creatively reach out to everybody. When you become a thought leader on a particular topic or an industry, you also are constantly on everyone's radar and top of mind. And a lot of people are afraid of public speaking. How many people here like public speaking? Wow, it's a lot. Well, if it's not your cup of tea, not to worry. At least try to get onto a mic to ask a question at the end so that you can deliver your name, your company name, and your elevator pitch, and allowing people to know who you are, get on people's radar, and then when the networking portion begins, people will approach you automatically. So I think that's another great tactic for getting in front of a lot of people at once. One thing that can make networking go from scary to a lot easier is by mastering your elevator pitch. If you're going from event to event and meeting like-minded people, you need to have your elevator pitch down to a science. In under 15 seconds or less, you should be able to explain what it is that your company does and how you add value. Like I mentioned earlier, 88's unique selling proposition is that we are the only agency in Canada that specializes in tech startup marketing. And the last tactic to remember is to offer a learning experience. Hosting or something of value doesn't have to be a necessarily learning experience, but you need to provide value before you ask of anything in return. Hosting events that showcase your expertise are a great way of re-engaging past clients and engaging prospective clients. It's also a lot easier to reach out to a prospect and invite them to an event and put your sales pitch on the back burner until you've built a very strong relationship with them. At 88, we host monthly lunch and learns where we highlight what's new in the industry, we offer new value or skill, we present on a particular topic, and we find that while this doesn't necessarily turn into a sale immediately, it does help us keep top of mind. So when clients do require marketing services down the line, they often think of us first. So those 5 tactics will definitely help you get in front of your clients. But what happens when you secure that meeting? There's a few things that you have to remember. The first is everything you do or say should be solving a customer's problem. If you can't succinctly explain how you're solving the customer's problem, then you shouldn't be working with them. A salesperson, I know, I just need an excuse to get him up there. I absolutely love him. Although my claim to fame is that I was retweeted by Donald Trump once. I'm not proud of it, so it's definitely not making my bio. But come find me in the break and I'll tell you what I said. So a salesperson should only be talking 20% of the time, and the rest of the time it should be the client reiterating his pain points. At the end of the day, a customer needs to feel like he can trust his salesperson, especially because you're the first point of contact and representing your company's brand. At 88, we're notoriously famous for turning down business if we feel like we're not the perfect fit and can add a lot of value. And I find that this very genuine and sincere approach helps establish credibility and bring a lot of referral business our way down the line. The second is to be distinct from your competition. If your elevator pitch sounds exactly like your competitor's elevator pitch, then you're going to have a really hard time with the close. Try to step into a space and solve a problem that hasn't been solved. I've already delivered 88's elevator pitch a million times, but one of the reasons that we wanted to specialize in tech startup marketing is we found it was a space that there wasn't a lot of support and no one was really owning those relationships. Understand the customer's decision-making process. Ask them if there's something they need to see in the final meeting or proposal that'll help them make their decision. Don't just assume you've given them all the information they need. Oftentimes, they'll tell you what their decision comes down to, whether it's price or experience or testimonials, and that'll really help you tailor your close. It also helps you make smarter business decisions. If you know their decision is coming down to price and you're not the cheapest agency on the market, why bother pitching on the proposal or work to begin with? And the last tactic to remember, which I've just started implementing, I recently had a meeting with a sales prospecting company called Growth Genius. Ryan, wave to everyone from the audience. These guys are geniuses. They're absolutely brilliant. So I walked into my first meeting with them. They take care of all of my sales prospecting for our agency. And I walk in and they pull out this recorder and they're like, can we record this meeting? And I'm like, sure, why? And they're like, it's unbelievable how much information we miss that we can go back to when we record a conversation. But also it avoids a lot of broken telephone and he says versus she says. So I've only just started implementing this, but I found that it really helps align me with my customers and prevents a lot of duplicate work from arising down the line, which is awesome. So thank you, Ryan. I learned that from you. Yeah, sure, why not? Round of applause for Ryan. So the 4 biggest key takeaways from today. The first, always tailor your outbound pitch and try to stand out, whether it's the Warby Parker style campaigns or sending your proposal or pitch decks with an order of tacos. Find creative ways to add value for your prospective clients. It's all about finding value and not being salesy. Put your sales pitch on the back burner. Keep your network warm and don't be too salesy. So the best way to be a great salesperson is to not be a salesperson. And the last thing to remember is reach is key. find intel on who may require your services, and try to find tactics where you can get in front of a lot of people at once. I couldn't fit all of my content into today's presentation, so I put together an ebook for everyone in the audience today. You can go to the following link to download your very own sales ebook with tactics you can start implementing today. And last but not least, I love talking sales all day, every day, so come find me in the break and I'll tell you about Donald Trump. Thank you, everyone. I am so glad that I made it.